Welcome back to MetaBook. In the previous episode, we talked about Chapter 1 of The Power of Now, the moment you realize you are not the relentless voice in your head, but the awareness behind it. That insight was our doorway. Today in Chapter 2, we step fully inside. The title of this chapter is Consciousness, the Way Out of Pain, and it opens with a truth that doesn't comfort you at first. Most emotional pain in your life is not caused by life itself, but by the way your mind interprets and recycles it. Tolle begins by drawing a simple distinction: pain of the present moment and pain that the mind manufactures. The first one is real. Loss is real. Physical pain is real. Sadness is real. But the second one, that's the one that shapes people's lives. It's that familiar loop where something small happens in the present, but suddenly you're feeling the weight of 10 years of memory. A look, a sentence, a tone in someone's voice, and it's as if old emotions wake up and walk into the room. Tolle calls this accumulation of old emotional residue the pain body. And although it sounds metaphorical, you know exactly what he's pointing at the moment you hear it. That shock of anger that comes out of nowhere, that wave of sadness that doesn't match the moment. That overreaction you notice even while it's happening, but can't stop. The pain body is not a literal creature living inside you, but it behaves like one. It has a rhythm, a hunger, and even a kind of intelligence. And its favorite food is your thoughts. The moment the pain body activates, your mind starts generating negative stories at a speed you can't control. You replay old scenes, you imagine future catastrophes, you attack yourself, or you silently judge the people around you. And the painful part is that this is often when you most convince yourself that these thoughts are true, because they come wrapped in such heavy emotion. Tolle insists on something radical. The present moment is almost never the real problem. What hurts is the emotional residue of the past that rises and merges with your thinking. You are not responding to life. You are responding to a memory that looks like life. And without awareness, this cycle becomes your personality. You start to believe that this is just how I am, when in reality, it's how your unconscious emotional past behaves through you. So how do you step out? Here the chapter shifts inward. Tolle says the way out of pain is not to understand it intellectually, not to fight it, and not to suppress it. The way out is awareness, pure presence. He asks you to try something that sounds too simple at first. When emotional pain rises, don't follow the story. Don't let your mind attach labels to the sensation. Just turn toward the feeling. Notice it in your body. Feel the tightness, the heat, the vibration, the heaviness, whatever shape it takes, and stay with it. Not with the narrative, but with the raw energy. What happens when you do this is almost paradoxical. The pain body cannot survive direct awareness. It relies on thought, on attention, on unconsciousness. When you feel it without feeding it, it begins to dissolve. Not instantly, not dramatically, but undeniably. Like darkness in the presence of a candle, it doesn't fight back, it simply disappears. Tolle describes a subtle but powerful inner shift that happens once you begin this practice. Instead of saying, I am angry, you find yourself realizing, there is anger inside me, and I am the one watching it. Instead of drowning in anxiety, you notice, anxiety is happening in my system right now, and I am the awareness that sees it. This tiny distance, this shift from being the emotion to watching the emotion, is the beginning of freedom. Chapter 2 makes something else clear. Being present doesn't mean you stop feeling. It doesn't turn you into a numb observer. In fact, it's the opposite. Presence allows you to feel emotions more clearly, without distortion, without the past hijacking the moment. Tolle calls this difference clean pain versus dirty pain. Clean pain is the natural sadness, grief, or discomfort that belongs to the now. Dirty pain is everything the mind adds: stories, judgments, identity, drama. Clean pain moves. Dirty pain stays. Clean pain clears. Dirty pain accumulates. And the difference is simply awareness. By the end of the chapter, Tolle leaves you with a realization that's both grounding and relieving. Suffering is not an enemy you must defeat. It's a signal inviting you back into presence. When pain rises, it's not a failure. It's a doorway. Each time you stay present with it, without letting the mind turn it into a story, you dissolve a layer of the pain body. You lighten the load of your past. You reclaim a piece of your life. That is consciousness as the way out of pain. Not a theory, not a technique, but a willingness to stay present with what is real, instead of disappearing into what the mind invents.